Keith Thurman wants Manny Pacquiao to come get that smoke a second time. One time, but make it 2 times. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for your ESPN pay-per-view plus ESPN Plus on my link. It does help the channel, and the link can be found in all of my videos. Let's get it. Now, Keith Thurman is coming back. He says he's able to train in March. He said he had some type of hand surgery and an injury to his hand, so he's just been chilling on hiatus. He's on Inside the PBC. This is what Thurman had to say on the PBC podcast. I just had hand surgery, and pretty soon I'll be back in the ring. I look forward to having a great 2020. I had doctors reassure me this will prolong my career, talking about the surgery he just had, because this is a bone fusion. When bone heals, it usually heals stronger. So I'm hoping to return to the original Keith, one-time Thurman. I might be able to start touching things as soon as March. I'll wait for the green light. I think all I need to do is strengthen from here on out. The fusion looks complete. Throughout the year, it'll keep evolving, but what the doctors want to see has already happened. It's solid. I've done so much of my life. I'm not doing it as soon as possible. For once in my life, I'm not trying to do it as soon as possible. I'm still at the top of the ladder, but I was knocked down. And when you get knocked down, you end up looking up. Now that's what I'm doing and wanting to climb the ladder. It brings out the competitor in me. He says that's the best competitor, the one that has nothing and is going for the gold. I look forward to that, and I definitely have the fire in me. That's why I want to approach it more long term, because as long as my hand is back and I got 5 more years in the sport, then I want to be the original problem that I was in the welterweight division. I need to make the phone call in the near future, that phone call. And he was referring to a Pacquiao rematch. If I was to ever get in the ring as soon as possible, only a rematch would make me excited enough to do that. Otherwise, I have a more long-term approach about how I want to go about this year and my future endeavors. But yeah, I would love that rematch with Pacquiao, and I would like the opportunity to get my belt back. It was a tremendous fight, and I know the fans would tune in another time, and we can get more people to watch it because it was such a tremendous event and outcome. So we'll see. There hasn't been a whole lot of news on the Pacquiao banner about what he's going to execute, so I am interested in looking at what his 2020 schedule is like, so we can line something up this year. The only thing I could have done other than what I did was to come up with a better fight strategy, an actual game plan versus Pacquiao, utilizing my footwork. It's almost like Sugar Ray Leonard in the way he fought Roberto Duran the first time he fought Duran's fight. For me, I was just wanting to go toe-to-toe with Pacquiao. I believe that if I put it on him, I would be able to get him and break him down. I saw signs of breaking down going into the later rounds. It was such a tug-of-war match. He kept his hands up well. My coach always says smart fighters win and dumb fighters lose. I think he fought a smart performance, and he held up to the shots. Ultimately, he landed the right punches at the right time. He was able to finesse that victory. All last year, I had weight issues. That ultimately was my downfall in the Pacquiao fight. Obviously, I don't have problems when I make weight. I am making weight. But how I did and how I went about making weight, I had 11 weeks training camp. And for the Josecito Lopez fight, I lost 35 pounds in January. Then I blew back up to 182 and had to lose 35 pounds in 11 weeks for the Pacquiao fight. So one thing I've learned in 2020 is for Keith Thurman to be at his best, he cannot be 35 pounds overweight, which I currently still am. A lot of people saw my fat belly on TV the other day, but mission for the beginning of the year is weight management. Fat boy season no more. Get skinny in 2020. We're getting older now at age 31. The body's not the same, and we know what we're doing inside the ring. Listen, Keith Thurman, you know, I've watched his career and followed him closely. I've interviewed him, and I'll be honest, I don't like the stuff I'm hearing from Keith Thurman, just because it sounds like almost like a used car salesman to me. It sounds like more of a sales pitch. He's saying things that, ultimately don't sound bad. Like, I would definitely be up for a Pacquiao Thurman 2 rematch. It was a good fight. I went to it. I covered it. Had fun on fight week. They even announced Errol Spence, Sean Porter had a press conference that fight week. So I had a great time in Las Vegas. But it sounded more like a sales pitch. And on top of that, Al Heyman's giving kind of fighters jobs. Like, Keith Thurman's been doing the inside the PBCs and podcasts, and I'm sure he's making some different money doing certain things like that and kind of commenting on boxing rather than being the fighter. At age 31, I just don't like what I'm hearing. I think Keith Thurman, he only has one loss, and that's to a Hall of Famer, and he's talking about, oh, a rematch would motivate me, but I want to take my time. He's almost talking as if the last 5 years haven't existed, where he said, I think it was 2018. Forgive me if I'm getting the actual year wrong, but I want to say they did that PBC up front, and then Keith Thurman was there, and he was like, yeah, this is my get back year. And someone asked him, oh, are you going to fight Errol Spence this year? And he was like, not going to happen, baby. 2018, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, what the hell? And then he said, this is just my get back year, so I'm coming back to the sport. We're going to do things our way. Woom, woom, woom. That whole get back year, he didn't even fight. He said, this is my get back year. And every single time that his alleged return date was supposed to come, like first it was January, then it was February, then it's May, then it just kept getting pushed back to the point where he never even fought, So Keith Thurman, to me, he should be trying to line up all the fight, not just rematches, but he should just be out there scrapping. If he's had multiple surgeries and injuries and layoffs and, these types of things, and he's had multiple time out of the sport, it seems like he would be really ready to just jump back in the mix. And he's talking about taking his time and stuff. So mentally, I don't know if he's really there. Of course, everyone wants a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. You make the most money, You make the most money that you can have. So to me, I'm looking a little bit deeper into this possibly, but I just seen Devin Haney. He's, I didn't see him, but I seen him on social media, and he's like, man, I can't wait to get back to training. He's 21 years old. He's currently down, had to give up his title because of his shoulder injury, and he's in the recovery, and he can't really train like he wants to. So I just literally, I think it was yesterday, seen a tweet from Devin Haney, and he's like, man, I miss training. I can't wait to get back. He's like trying to be in the gym. He's been in the gym his whole life, gym rat. Meanwhile, Keith Thurman's talking about, oh yeah, if I can't get a big rematch with Pacquiao, I'm going to take my time. But then on the same token, what makes it sound used car salesman-ish is because he's talking about taking his time if he can't get a Pacquiao fight. But he also said that the bone fusion and whatever surgery he had, the operation he had done, should recover nicely, and then he should be fighting like the old Keith Thurman and cracking and using his hand perfectly. So what's the reason at age 31 why you want to come back, and take your time if you can't get a Pacquiao fight? To me, that stuff doesn't sound right. It gives me no hope, absolutely no hope of a Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. The Crawford fight, I don't see him like kind of going after that, plus the inherent landscape sides of the street issues. It just ultimately, it sucks because I've enjoyed Keith Thurman's whole career, and it doesn't seem like he's even in the one-time mode anymore, And like I said, I could be looking too far into it, but I'm going off of history, the injuries, the out of competition stuff, the inactivity, and then now he's saying, I ballooned up in weight and I can't do that. But then he just said, I'm out of shape right now. So it's like, that kind of doesn't make sense. If you gained weight after the Jose Cito Lopez fight, gained 35 pounds, which people were saying, even on my videos, I was like, man, Keith Thurman looked big. And he was on the Charlo Harrison Camp Life story, right? And I'm like, man, he's just looking kind of big, right? And we've all discussed these things. And you're acknowledging that maybe that's why you're kind of throwing that excuse into the excuse pot of maybe that's why I didn't beat Pacquiao, or I had a fat camp, basically. And then now you're admitting that you're 35 pounds overweight, but saying it's all about weight management. You know, these statements don't really sound right to me. You're identifying the problem, saying you have to manage your weight and not balloon up in weight, but then in the same breath you said that you're 35 pounds over currently, but it's all about weight management. So, you know, it just sounds like a cunning car salesman, the way Keith Thurman is talking. I hope I'm wrong, but let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. What do you want to see next for Keith Thurman? I'm just really questioning the overall passion, because you got to look at like Errol Spence. Errol Spence got in a traumatic, life-changing car accident, and he might fight Pacquiao or Danny Garcia or somebody next. And it sounds like he wants to do these things with no tune-up. I even asked Derek James last time I seen him, you know, at the Charlo Harrison fight. I asked him personally, my question. I said, do you want a tune-up, or you just want to go straight at big names and, you know, basically pick up where Errol Spence left off in 2019? And, you know, Derek James basically said, I'm just the coach. I'm going to get him ready. Whatever he wants to do, you know, we're going to discuss it as a team and woo. But you see the hunger in Errol, and people are saying, hey, Errol, you had a great 2019. Chill out. You know, take a tune-up. It's okay. And people are worried and wondering if he's the same, and he don't even want to take a tune-up. But you have Keith Thurman, who didn't go through like a car accident or anything like that. He just has a loss, and he seems like he has time on his side. You know, like he's 22. He's 31 in a young man's game, and coming off a loss, and he's been absent for, you know, the better part of 2-3 years in recent memory. You know, after his big wins, Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, you know, constantly having accidents and injuries and stuff like that, and delayed comebacks, and sat out all of 2018. And now he's talking like, you know, time is not relative, and he just has all the time in the world to take his time. It's weird. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.